Hello students, we are on chapter 9, Voice in the Dark. We have finished the first part of the chapter and I hope you have understood the chapter well. So it is the autobiography of the writer. Who is the writer of the lesson? W.H. David. And W.H. David and his companion James were traveling from one place to another within the Canada. Okay. So because they had no ticket, they were hiding and traveling each station. Whenever they reached a particular station, they were hiding from the people, the police and the station master. So, and the train, they were getting down almost 2 places. Rainfall, they go down because the train was running very slow. So the writer wanted to go to reach the destination. Which is the destination? Winnipeg. So he wanted to reach the destination as early as possible, and he was very impatient. He wanted to reach as early as possible. So he told his companion James, he told that I am not at all liking this so slow traveling. I wanted to reach Winnipeg as early as possible. So we will get down here and take a fast passenger train which moves fast. Okay, so he stopped there, go down at which place it is mentioned here, and Rainfall, and was waiting for a fast passenger train to come. So when the train was coming here, the previous class we saw that the train was moving to the station, and the whistle, they could hear the whistle from the hiding place. So the writer called out his friend, please come up. This time the train is almost reached. What was that? They have planned to get inside the blind baggage car, which means the end nearest to the engine was blind, having no door. So almost nobody come to that place, and the station master also not so much bother that particular place. And if at all he see, nobody ask anything. That was their plan. They hide under and they enter that blind baggage, the car. So our plan to suddenly appear from the hiding place, and it was dark, being favorable, and leap on the step of his car. So it was almost night, and it was night, and everything was good for them, favorable for them to jump into the train. So what happened then? And from that place to the platform is being done when the train was in motion, knowing that the conductor, who was always on the watch for such doing, rarely stopped the train to put men off. So what happened? What was their plan? And when the train was in motion, when the train was slowly moving from the station, they could jump from the particular place where they were hiding and come enter the train. And at that time, when the train was moving, nobody could notice them. That the conductor also, who was always on the watch of the such doing, rarely stopped the train to put men off. So when the train was moving, nobody take that effort to stop the train and catch hold of these people. So if he saw us before the train started, he would certainly take means to prevent us from riding. So if the conductor could have seen them early, he could have stopped them. But once the train in motion, nobody could stop them, and also he would certainly prevent us from riding. If he could have seen them early, he could have prevented, but after starting the train, nobody could bother. So that was their plan. When we had once taken possession of this car, no man could approach us until we reached the next stopping place. So nobody could bother. Once the train is moving, nobody could bother, and also now they thought that they could hide in that particular place, and also nobody could come such a place to watch what they were doing, which would take probably be 50 miles or much more. So it would take 50 miles to reach the other station. So very nice plan, no? But they have decided, both of them. At the place we would dismount. Dismount means come down, conceal ourselves, and when it was again in motion, make another leap for our former place. So when the train stopped in particular station or place, they would come, take the another leap, jump into the one more step ahead. That was their plan. Of course, the engine and the fireman could reach us, but these men were always indifferent. Not that much bothered about. Indifferent they were. Okay, so indifferent and never interfered their business being ahead instead of being the engine. So, and who were not bothering about all these things? The engine and the engineer and the firemen also. They were also not so much bothered about all these things happening, what is happening there. And the things were very favorable for them, and they have planned everything to get inside the past passenger train. Okay. Now the next paragraph. The train whistled almost before we were ready. So the train whistled before we were ready and pulled slowly out of the station. I allowed my companion an advantage of being the first to jump owing to his maimed hand. His companion was a maimed, crippled. He had only 3 fingers. So he allowed. The writer was a very good man, good at heart. So he thought that let his companion go and jump into the train because he was a crippled person. He allowed them to jump into the train first. So the train was now going faster and faster, and we were forced to keep pace with it. Pace means P-A-C-E. Pace means step into that. The train was moving. You can see how we have seen the train moving. You can see that slowly it takes the speed. Okay. So making a leap, he caught the handlebar and sprang lightly on the step. After which my hand quickly took possession of this bar. The friend had taken first, jumped inside and hanged on that bar. And he did not leave the place for a W.H. David. Okay, the writer. So then what happened? So prepared to follow his example. The writer also was planning to follow his friend's example. To jump into the train and hang on that bar. Okay. To my surprise, instead of at once taking his place on the platform, my companion stood thoughtlessly, irresolute, undecided, hesitating, we can say that, on the step, leaving me no room to make the attempt. So what happened? David thought that his friend would give a little place for him to stand beside him. But what happened? Did he give the place for him? No. He did not give the place for him. Thoughtlessly, irresolute. Okay? Thoughtlessly, irresolute. He was standing where he was catching hold of the bar, and he did not give a little place for his companion to jump. Okay, that was very bad. Okay? So, the next, leaving me no room to make the attempt. But I still held to the bar. Though the train was now going so fast, I found great difficulty in keeping step with it. So the writer wanted to jump into that, and he was finding difficult to catch a hold of the bar. There was no place to stand with. I shouted to him to clear the step. I shouted my companion, please give me a little place to stand there. This he proceeded to do very deliberately, very slowly. I thought, taking a firmer grip on the bar, I jumped, but it was too late, for the train was now going at a rapid rate. I jumped and catch hold of that, very slowly taking, but I was, in fact, it was very late. The train was moving rapidly, slowly. It was rapidly means slowly. The train was taking the speed. So I jumped, but it was too late, for the train was now going at a rapid rate. My foot came short of the step, and I fell, and still clinging to the handle handlebar was dragged several yards before I relinquished my hold. Though I was catching hold of the bar, I did not get a place to stand on the steps. But I was still clinging to the handlebar. I was just hanging on the handlebar, and there were several miles I was taken. I relinquished my hold. I let it go my hold from the bar. Finally, so there was no place, and I was hanging on the that bar, and I was dragged. And after that, I lay for several minutes, feeling a little shaken, while the train passed swiftly on into the darkness. So I just fall down to the track, and the train left me, and it went miles away, and it was the surroundings were left in darkness. Okay, you can imagine in which condition the writer is left at the railway track. Fully wounded. You can see now. Even then, I did not know what happened, for I attempted to stand, but I found that something had happened to prevent me from doing this. Though I left my hand from the bar, from the train, and it dragged me miles and miles away, I left alone at the track, and I tried myself to stand on, but something was preventing me. And something was not allowing me to stand. So what happened then? Sitting down in upright position, I then began to examine myself, and now I found that the right foot was severed from the ankle. So what happened? The right foot was separated from the ankle. So the right foot was cut off from the ankle. This discovery did not shock me so much as the thought which quickly followed, for I could feel no pain. Because of this, the right ankle was cut off from the right foot was cut off from the ankle, I did not have pain. It was numb. So I did not feel much pain there. I was not satisfied until I had examined every portion of it. So I was examining part by part my body. Okay, the thing which I found, I was really wounded. Seeing a man crossing the track, I shouted to him for assistance. So what happened then? The writer was calling for help. He saw that somebody was passing through that way. The writer called out for help. He looked in one direction and another, did not see me in the darkness, and was going his way when I shouted again. Did he come and help the writer? No, he did not come to help, give a helping hand, but in the darkness he moved away. This time he looked full my way, but instead of coming near, he made one bound in the air, nearly fell, scrambled to his feet, and was off like the shot from the gun. So this time he moved away from that place and scrambled to his feet and was off like the shot from the gun. This man was sought after for several weeks by the curious people to know who he was, but was never found, and no man came forward to say, I am he. So that particular man, the writer called out for help, because he was frightened. He thought that it was a ghost. He ran away from that particular place, and nobody could that man who he was. Okay, that's all, dear students. Today, go through the chapter, read the chapter again and again, understand it, and difficult words also you have to go through. So, thank you, students, for listening.